Hello everyone, I've got another Your Creative Studio unboxing to share with you today. I think this is the October box. I'll leave it on the video description, and from the looks of the business card I think it's a book theme. So let's have a look and see what's inside. So as always, I'm just going to pull out the items one by one. This is the washi tape that we usually receive. Let's see what design we've got here. Very nice. Let me just open this out just so that you can see the design. So script on this one. That's lovely, actually. I like that. Next up, we've got some tickets. As usual, I'll be keeping the packaging as well to see if we can do anything with that. So let me just quickly flick through the designs here. It looks as if we've got 3 of each one. So that's what we've got here. Like the pink one. So good variety of different colourways. We also have a cling stamp. A lady. That's lovely, reading a book. Little girl, actually, I think it is, reading a book. So we'll have a play around with these. I'll show you what the designs are like later. We've got a pile of books. I like that one. That one's huge as well, with an owl on the top. That's lovely. I like that. We have some papers. Let's have a look and see what's inside here. So that's the background, which again is just calling out to be made into a tag, and then we've got various designs of background papers, great for using for collage. Let's quickly flick through these, and again 3 different sizes for us to play with. Library cards, love those. So yeah, lots of different designs here for us to play around with. Some more vintage paper designs called Time Traveller. Let's see what's inside this one. Again, more lovely packaging that we can play around with. And then these designs here, looks as if again we've got, have we got a couple of each? No, I think these are all individual designs. Yes, they are. Yep, again, lots of different colourways. That's lovely. I like that. So I'll just quickly flip through these. That's gorgeous with the red, blue. So we can have some fun with these. We've got some postage stamps with an autumn theme. Let's see if I can get into these. So we've got lots of mushrooms here by the looks of it. Yeah, loads of mushrooms, trees. Very much an autumn theme with these though. We've got a pack of what are called deco stickers, and these look like bookends. Oh, these are fun. I've not seen anything like this in any of the previous packs. So this is something new, which I like. So we've got poems, the children's book of gardening, lots and lots of different designs. These are lovely. How to know the wildflowers. Aren't these gorgeous? Boudoir ballads, life and works of William Blake, The Earthly Paradise by William Morris. Oh gosh, I love those. Those are fabulous. Another cling stamp. Let's see what this is. Oh gosh, another huge one as well. Mine's come a bit unstuck from its background. But yeah, a lady and a gentleman sitting in a library reading books at opposite ends of one another. That's really sweet. I like that. We also have a sticky note pad of a library card. This book is due on the last date, stamped below. So that's lovely. So library card pack. We have some papers. These look really pretty. Let's have a look at these. Isn't that gorgeous? So we've got a vellum one here with flowers on it. Look at that. Oh, how gorgeous, with the doily. I love it. It's just beautiful. Bills of hair. Which is a menu, our homes and their adornments, bills of hair, family breakfast, breakfast party, just one of each of these designs. Oh no, we've got 2 of Oh no, we haven't. This is different. So all menu related. Well, the first few are anyway. And then this one here. Let's just quickly flick through these. Alice in Wonderland. So various types of book pages. I like the shape of these as well. Some dictionary pages, more Alice, more cookery books. So a really good selection of different papers there. Some book stickers. At least I think these are stickers. These stickers or rub-on stickers in various different sizes. Some tissue paper with a book theme. We usually have 5 sheets of these, so let me just check. I'm pretty sure that this is tissue. Yes, it is. So I'll just take one of these out. So that's what that looks like. So beautifully translucent. And then finally a pack of paper ephemera, Your Creative Studio paper ephemera. So we've got 6 sticker papers, 6 vellum, 6 art paper and 6 patterned paper. So let me just show you the designs. So this is the regular paper, and we'll have 6 of each of these designs in the various types of paper. How pretty. Isn't that one gorgeous? Sort of like a worn wallpaper. I love this one here as well with the book design. Oh, that's gorgeous. These are lovely. I like these a lot. And then we're on to the same designs again, but this is clearly sticker paper, vellum paper, and so on and so on. So that's what we've got in this month's pack. And just for cuteness, you can see that Louis is joining me today in the dog bed. Now I've made myself a new journal cover because for anybody who's been following along with my Your Creative Studio series, you will know that my previous journal is completely full to bursting. And for anybody who wants to see the flip through of this one here, I'll leave the link in the description box below. Now I haven't bothered doing a tutorial for this one here. You can see it's slightly larger. This one here measures 5 inches by 7 inches with a 1.5 inch spine. This one here measures 5.5 by 8 inches, so slightly larger. I've done it in exactly the same way as I made this one here, and in fact actually it's exactly the same size and same method as the journal I made a couple of weeks ago. So I will link the video tutorial showing how I made this one here because I've done exactly the same thing. But I do want to decorate the front and back covers using this month's box. So let me just explain what I've done so far and what I've used to cover the journal. I used picture framing mount board, which is the same material that I used to make this one here. For this one here, I used an old shoebox, so use any old cardboard you like. You want something that is quite thick and sturdy. And then I've just covered it in Amazon packaging, front and back. I wanted this one completely plain, whereas this one here I've used a patterned paper bag, just so that I could decorate it using the Your Creative Studio ephemera. I've also added some corner rounders. These are slightly smaller than the ones I've used in the past. These were just the first ones that I pulled out of my drawer, and they fit really well. I've also used some burlap fabric to decorate the spine. This is sort of like, I don't know, it's not a salmony pink. It's sort of like a beigey pink tone. But I'm just going to have a look through the box and let's see if we can pull out some bits and pieces to decorate the front and back. I've pulled out these 2 pieces of worn wallpaper design, which I thought might be interesting to use for the outside front and back cover. That was from the ephemera pack. These have got a gorgeous texture, sort of like a grainy texture. They're really nice. I just need to decide what I want to use for the focal image, but one will go on the front and one will go on the back. I've cut them down to 7.5 inches long. I've kept the width the same. You can see I've rounded the corners as well, but those are going to be perfect. I haven't decided yet which way round I want this one to go and whether I want the green on the front or the green on the back. Undecided as yet. But for my focal images, I'm going to use something from a previous box. I've got these beautiful birds, and I've got no idea actually off the top of my head which pack this was from. I'll try and find it and I'll leave a note on screen. But as I've said, these were from a previous pack. And I just think these are going to make the most beautiful focal images, which will go beautifully with this worn wallpaper type background. I just need to find something to mount them on, just to make the birds stand out even more. I've cut a couple of pieces of craft cardstock, which are the right size to mount my birds on. So one for each piece of ephemera. And this is where the struggle becomes real. Oh my goodness, I have been playing around with some of these beautiful pieces of ephemera to try and make some kind of a background. I've been doing something like this. Let me just show you what I've been up to, and you'll see why I've got a dilemma. So I thought those go really well together, and I was thinking that I could mount my bird on something like this, but to me that just looks too busy. It just takes away from the beautiful detail in this, and I think, you know, again, I've got no idea which one will be mounted on which piece. I guess this one here goes better with the green, but that just looks too busy to me. It just doesn't work. So then I thought maybe I could use, hang on, bring my image back. Maybe I could use a piece of the dictionary paper that was included in this kit. But I just don't like the words. They just don't seem to fit, and I can't find a way of disguising and hiding them either, that, you know, they are just there. I've even tried having it this way round, and that doesn't work. And the other text, as beautiful as it is just not right. This one here is just too big. I don't know. It's again, there's just something not quite right. I love it, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's the right background for my images. I want something smaller. And this one here, if it was covering the whole page, that would have been absolutely perfect, but unfortunately it's not. So again, I've gone to a previous box. Hang on, let me just get my pieces of cardboard before I end up losing things. I've gone to a previous box and I've pulled out some very similar papers to this. And let me just show you, because I think these are just going to be absolutely perfect. So we will do some pages with this month's box once we, you know, start getting into the journal. But I just love the text on these. I just think they're beautiful. I've pulled out quite a few, and I just need to decide which ones I want to use. And I guess it would depend on the colour, which colour I think goes best with the image. But you see, that's just lovely. It doesn't detract from the beautiful image, so I think that's what I'm going to use. The two I've chosen are these ones here, and because these pages are quite see-through, I will be able to see where I want to put them on the background as well, which is perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down. And these two, I think, although, you know, clearly written by different hands, I think they're of a similar period, I would say. The script is glued down onto the craft cardstock, as you can see, and I think that's going to be the perfect backdrop. What I am going to do before I take this off to the sewing machine is glue these two down to some thin cardstock. It's a horrible apricot colour. I'm trying to use this up. It was supposed to be cream, not what I expected at all. But I want to be able to rough the edges up, and this paper is just way too thin. So I'm just going to glue this down first, just so that I can rough the edges with my scissors. So I am just going to take my scissors and just rough up the edges, just to grunge them up just a little bit. So much easier to do when it's on a piece of cardstock than on flimsy paper. Those look much better, and before I sew them, I'm just going to add some Distress ink in frayed burlap just to grunge up the edges. I've had a look through my videos, by the way, and these birds were from the May 2022 box. Absolutely gorgeous. I think this was one of my favourite boxes. It was birds and butterflies. That's been off to the sewing machine, or these have been off to the sewing machine. So that's what they look like. Sewing just adds so much, I think. And of course, the next decision is deciding which way round I want these to go. I think I like it this way round because I can see some pinky tones and browny tones that go really well with that background, whereas this has got more of a green tinge to it. So I think I want it that way round. Now I've got to, of course, decide which one I want on the front and which one I want at the back. I also want to use this. It's one of these Tim Holtz doodads. I've got no idea what they're called. And it says possibility begins with imagination. And I'm thinking that I would like to have that there. As you can see, after a lot of umming and ahhing, I finally made a decision. I decided to chop this one down a little bit. I really like, on my old journal here, how the piece on the back is smaller. So I've decided to go with the same kind of theme. But next up, I want to, now that I've made a decision as to which one is the front and which one is the back, I want to secure this. I'm going to have it here like this, I think, and I'm going to use my pokey tool just to poke a couple of holes. There we go, I can do this. Come on, Nina, you can do it without trying to stab yourself. And we'll do the same on this side here. And then I've got some brads, and I'm going to use these to hold it in place. So let's pop one there. And this way, when I glue it down to the front of my journal, you won't be able to see these. So I just need to open them out. Just make sure that that's nice and flat and secure. We'll do the same with this side here as well. Let's pop that in, and again, just open these out. There we are, and then that, yep, that's straight enough, and then that can stick down to the front of my journal. I do, before I stick it down, want to add the date. The date today is Wednesday the 1st of February, so I'm just going to twizzle this around. And because this is textured paper, I want to have a play before I do it on the paper itself. And also to make sure that I get it the right way up. This is just a scrap that I've cut off from this here. Is it going to work? I'm using Stays On ink here, and yes, I think that will work just fine. I just want to try and get it as straight as I can. Go for it. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. This is a junk journal at the end of the day. Hold that down just until the ink grabs. There we are. I'm using art glitter glue to glue this down. You can see I've applied plenty, and I'm just going to stick this one on the front to make sure I get this in the right place. We can wipe off any bits that we've got in places where we don't want it. Really smooth this down because this part here is quite bumpy, so I'm just going to weight this down underneath a heavy book, and as soon as that's dried, then I'll do exactly the same with the back. But isn't that pretty? I've had this weighted down underneath a couple of heavy books just to make sure that the front and back cover are securely attached. Really happy with that. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. So that's the back and that's the front, and as you can see, I've already added my binding method for my signature, the same one that I've used in most of my journals recently. And you know, again, I haven't shown you how to do this because it's exactly the same as I showed you in this tutorial here. So as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I'll leave the link to the tutorial showing how I made this cover, because the method for this one here is exactly the same. Now you can see that I've allowed plenty of room for my signatures to go in. This is not wrapped too tight. So next up, let me show you what I'm going to be using for the signatures themselves. these are the pages that I've chosen. These were the ones that I'd pulled out for my previous journal, this one here, and I didn't end up using in the end. So I've decided that I've got 3 pages of these. We'll use them in this journal here. I've also got 3 of these pages here. Now let me just show you what this is. This is a piece of paper that looks like this. It's something that I picked up from the scrap store many years ago, and I've used this in most of my journals. I absolutely love it. It's a really nice weight. It's kind of like a parchment paper, and you can see that I've folded it in half and in half again, and I've just sewn along the bottom edge. So this is what I've got. So I've sewn along the bottom edge, and so now I've got a pocket on either side. So that's what this looks like, and I've got 3 of these. They're all exactly the same. I've also got 3 paper bags. Now 2 of the paper bags look like this. So that's just a paper bag like this, regular paper bag. I folded up the edge, sewn down the sides and folded it in half. So that's what that looks like. So I've got a pocket on either side. So I've got 2 of those. I've also got this one here, which is slightly different. I folded the bag in half, then folded this one over, and I've stitched top and bottom. So I've got a side pocket on this one here, which I thought would just be a little bit different. Next up, I've chosen some ledger paper. Now this was a gigantic piece of ledger paper. I folded it in half and cut down the middle, and then folded in half again. So that's what that looks like. So then I've sewn across the top and the bottom. So again, we've got a pocket on the side here. Of course, that's where the signature edges, so that one's closed. I just love this ledger paper. This is a really nice weight. So we've got 3 of those, and then finally we've got this paper here, which is some handmade paper with dried flowers in. So that's what that looks like. That's the back, and this is the front. It's so pretty, just gorgeous. And again, this is quite a nice weight as well. So I've only got 5 different pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 15 pages in total, but I think that's going to be plenty because that will give me 60 sides in total to work on. So what I'm going to do with these, I want to just vary how I do these. Let me just pop these into piles so that I can show you what I'm going to do with these, because I want these signatures to be random. So not overthinking this, we'll have this one here on the outside, this one will have a piece of this, a paper bag, and maybe, in fact actually, then we'll have the handmade paper and the paper bag in the centre. So that's the first signature. Maybe we could have this on the outside of one, paper bag, this paper here, and then maybe one of those, just so that these are completely random. I'm not overthinking this at all. Then perhaps we can have this one on the outside, that paper there, paper bag, that, and maybe like that. So 3 signatures in total, and they're all different, so that when the book is open, it just looks completely random, and I really like that look at the moment. Long gone are the days, I think, where I just wanted everything to be streamlined and 3 signatures that were all identical. I just like this this random look. So what I will do now, in fact I'll have that one in the centre, I think. So let's pop these in. So starting from the back, I'm going to have this one at the back. So I'm just going to slot this underneath. So that's the first signature. This one here is going to be in the middle. So we'll pop that in. In fact, probably easier if I do it this way round. Just got to fiddle to get it underneath your strings, but when they're in, that's it, and it's so much easier than sewing signatures in by hand. So there we are. So that's that signature signature there. And of course, you know, if I want to move these around and, you know, change it up a bit, I always can do. And then my final signature, my third signature, will just pop underneath like that. I also forgot to mention that we've got a couple of pockets in these bags. We've got a top pocket here, and here, and of course the same on this one as well, so that's quite nice. Next up, I've chosen some ledger paper. Now this was a gigantic piece of ledger paper. I folded it in half and cut down the middle, and then folded in half again, so that's what that looks like. So then I've sewn across the top and the bottom, so again we've got a pocket on the side here. Of course, that's where the signature edges, so that one's closed. I just love this ledger paper. This is a really nice weight, so we've got 3 of those. And then finally we've got this paper here, which is some handmade paper with dried flowers in. So that's what that looks like. That's the back and this is the front. It's so pretty, just gorgeous. And again, this is quite a nice weight as well. So I've only got 5 different pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 15 pages in total, but I think that's going to be plenty because that will give me 60 sides in total to work on. So what I'm going to do with these, I want to just vary how I do these. Let me just pop these into piles so that I can show you what I'm going to do with these, because I want these signatures to be random. So not overthinking this, we'll have this one here on the outside, this one will have a piece of this, a paper bag, and maybe, in fact actually, then we'll have the handmade paper and the paper bag in the centre. So that's the first signature. Maybe we could have this on the outside of one, paper bag, this paper here, and then maybe one of those, just so that these are completely random. I'm not overthinking this at all. Then perhaps we can have this one on the outside, that paper there, paper bag, that, and maybe like that. So 3 signatures in total, and they're all different, so that when the book is open, it just looks completely random, and I really like that look at the moment. Long gone are the days, I think, where I just wanted everything to be streamlined and 3 signatures that were all identical. I just like this this random look. So what I will do now, in fact I'll have that one in the centre, I think. So let's pop these in. So starting from the back, I'm going to have this one at the back. So I'm just going to slot this underneath. So that's the first signature. This one here is going to be in the middle. So we'll pop that in. In fact, probably easier if I do it this way round. Just got to fiddle to get it underneath your strings, but when they're in, that's it, and it's so much easier than sewing signatures in by hand. So there we are. So that's that signature there. And of course, you know, if I want to move these around and you know, change it up a bit, I always can do. And then my final signature, my third signature, will just pop underneath like that, and that's it. So 60 sides, 60 pages for me to play around with. Doesn't that look cool? I love it already. I'm leaving the video here for today because it's already gone on for long enough, but I am thrilled to bits with my journal so far. I will be back soon because I want to use some of the other goodies that were included in the October box as well to create maybe a couple of pages, but you know, off to a good start. So I hope, you know, those of you that have been collecting these boxes and haven't done anything with them will feel encouraged to start a journal of yourselves and follow along. So if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd very much appreciate a thumbs up. I can't tell you how much it helps my channel. I don't go in for this buy me a coffee, channel membership or Patreon. My channel is completely free. So if you want to find a way to support me, I would very much appreciate a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel as well. That really helps. Do of course let me know what you think in the comments below. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.